welcome to yoga circuits. So this little short, sharp session, just going through a sequence of movements, postures, 30 seconds we'll be working with each one, a little bit of recovery before we move on to the next one. So it's quite a continuous movement today, so not too much time sort of standing in between. You've got the option to use weights. Okay, it's always an option. You can do exactly the same arm movements without weights, or you can use, as I mentioned to some of you before, something like a tin of beans or tomatoes or soup, that kind of thing. And that's usually heavy enough just to provide enough resistance. Good, okay, so let's make a start. We'll come down to sit first. Hands together at the heart centre. Just bringing your awareness onto your breath. It doesn't have to be anything other than what it is. So closing your eyes so you can just focus and find your breath. Notice where you can feel your breath moving. As I mentioned, it doesn't have to be anywhere other than where it is. And begin to start to press the palms a little bit more firmly together. So you can feel a little bit of work coming into the arms, the upper arms, and maybe across the chest. Keep your breath soft. So assess your breathing. So if you're really overdoing that pressing, your breath might get a bit juddery or a little bit kind of sort of haltering, or is that a word? But keeping your breath smooth as you continue to maybe even press a bit more firmly with the palms. Good, now breathing arms out and up. Palms together overhead, press and pull back to your heart centre. Pull and press. And again, breathe in. Breathe out. And again. Press and pull. Good, I'll turn sideways. This time arms out and up. And as you exhale, come forwards. Breathing arms out and up. Press and pull. Lean back slightly and maybe lift the feet off the mat. Good, breathe in, arms out and up, sitting back up. Exhale, fall forwards. Breathing arms out and up, palms together overhead, press and pull. Now this time as you come forwards onto the floor, exhale and really firm up through your hands as if you're trying to pull your mat back towards you. Breathe in, come back up. Exhale, press and pull. Maybe think about unbending the legs. Good, back to a cross leg position, maybe other leg in front, breathe in. Exhale, fold, press and pull with your hands. Breathe in, come up. And exhale, press and pull. So come to your boat pose. So that might mean your feet are down, but I'd like to keep the chest lifted wherever you are. Good, same arm action, but keeping the legs in their boat pose. Breathe in, arms out and up. Exhale, press and pull. Breathe in, arms out and up. Exhale, press and pull. Good. And one more. Good. Pop your feet down. Release your legs and slowly fold forwards over your thighs. A little bounce of the legs is quite a nice thing to do there. Good. So swing the legs around so you can come onto hands and knees. We do a little bit of cat-cow. Breathing in and breathing out. Most of you are familiar with this movement. Just remember the position of the hands more or less under the shoulders. Knees more or less under the hips. Breathing in and breathing out. So we're adding a little bit of movement through the arms now. So as you breathe in, bend the elbows back a little bit towards you. Tilt your sitting bones and your tailbone up, sitting a little bit back towards the heels. And as you breathe out, push the floor away with your hands and really firm up through your arms. And go back to that nice rounded spine. Good. Breathe in, sit back. Breathe out, release. And again. One more. Good. Come back to that more square position. So this time we've got a little bit of a forward movement of the chest. So the elbows are still going to bend back a little bit, just a little bit. So you'll breathe in forwards. Exhale, push back to the heels. Breathe in, come up and forwards a little bit. Exhale, press back to the heels. Now watch your hips here. So as you come forwards, firm up through the navel rather than letting your hips start to sink towards the mat. Good. And again. One more. Keep the arms strong. Exhale. Good. Return to hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Downward dog. Take a moment to settle into downward dog. So you might like to bend the legs, one then the other. You might like to adjust the position of the feet so the backs of the legs feel a little bit less restricted. Good. Then taking the feet hip width, lift the heels and bend the knees. Good. Swing the knees to the right with a little bounce, then to the left with a little bounce. So you're bouncing the hips down towards the heels. Controlled movement. Good, and again. Nice work for the thighs, get them nice and warm. One more to each side. Then back to the centre, re-find your downward dog. Firm up through the navel, look forwards, walk your feet towards your hands and then your hands towards your feet. And slowly uncurl to standing. Hands come together at the heart centre. Little firming up through the hands as you close your eyes and find your breath, which may have already shifted and changed. Brilliant, so let's get going. So weights or no weights, we're going to do weighted squats. Everyone knows what a squat is. So we'll be sitting back. If you've got weights, they're just going to be hanging. If you haven't got weights, just curl your hands so the fingers are pointing in towards the palm. Okay, I'll get my little timer so I can make sure, and those of you that know me know I'm not really good at, we tend to go over rather than do less. So let's try and do exactly the right amount. Good, so feet about hip width. We're ready to go. We sit the sitting bones and the tailbone back. Here we go. So 30 seconds. Really drive down through the feet and firm up through the navel centre as you come back up. If you want to make it a little bit more work for the legs, you can lift the toes. I know it looks like I'm folding forwards, but I am doing my best to keep the idea of my chest being lifted. Good, 8 more seconds, that's all. 5 now. And release, good, pop your weights down. Let's just have a couple of seconds. Next one is step burpees with the option to use the weights. Okay, standing upright, are we ready? Off we go, so coming down, hands or weights to the floor, step back, step forwards, up and down. So remember to go at your own pace. 10 more seconds. Good, well done. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Up we come. Good, well done. So squat pulses next, so the squat that we've just done, but just stay in the squat and pulsing for 30 seconds. Weights or no weights, your choice. Off we go. Find your squat and we pulse. Be careful as you pulse, you don't start to bring your knees forwards. So hips back. So think that you're trying to shut that imaginary door with your bottom the whole time. Well done. Just 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Straighten those legs. Well done. So lunge, step back. I'll just do a quick demo. Good. So you can keep your hands on the waist the whole time, or you'll step back, arms forwards, then you bring your hands to your waist and kick that leg. So step and kick, step and kick. One side, 15 seconds, then we switch sides. If you need a little bit more support, the side of the leg you're not using, you can pop your hand on a wall or a chair and just work dynamically. So we're avoiding straightening this leg. It's staying in that slightly squat position as we move forwards and backwards with the other foot. Okay? Well done. We're ready? Okay, let's set ourselves up. Weights or no weights. Shoulders up, back and down. Settle. Think lunge. We're using the right leg first. Good, off we go. Step back and kick. Back and kick. Back and kick. Really trying to avoid leaning over onto the side. Change sides. So you're trying to avoid leaning or tipping onto the side of your supporting leg. Good, so keep going, almost there. Remember to change around if you're using support. Well done. Have a breather. Weighted squats now again with alternate knee in. Okay, so you've got the option to add a shoulder press to this one. So this is a shoulder press. You can do the same arm action with or without weights. Good, so what we'll do is, we'll do the shoulder press when we're down, here, and then we'll bring the knee up here. In this instance, you are straightening the standing leg a little bit more. So squat and back up. Same deal, 15 seconds one side, 15 seconds the other. Okay, we're ready? Yay, I am. So firm up through the feet. Find the right foot position for you in your squat. Your arms will probably come forwards a bit, that's fine in that shoulder press position. Off we go. Knee up. So I'm working with the right side first. Good. Change sides. Shoulder press, knee up. Shoulder press, knee up. So really using your standing leg and your core to support the movement. Well done. Take a quick breather. So Malasana up and downs with the option to add a bicep curl. So if you're not using your weights, arms out, just a soft fist with the hand. Curl your fist in towards your shoulders. This will be the movement. Same action with the weight, aiming to keep the elbow up rather than letting it drop down. All right? I always say all right. And even when I'm in a class of people, I don't get much of a reply to that. So I assume everyone's woo-hooing, woo, before the next movement. So feet, usually actually, if you just extend one arm, and the foot is more or less under the wrist. Good. Come into your Malasana, arms out, palms will be up, and then you'll curl your fingers, and off we go. Up and curl, back where you came from. Squeeze everything as you come up. Try and create resistance with the arms. Good, 10 more seconds. Squeeze. Squeeze, last one. Well done. Good, so pop your weights down for a moment, have a breather. The next one is step burpees again, but with the option of a plank row. So I'll do a quick demo for you. Weights or no weights? Good, so you're in your upright position, you come down, you step back, you do the right arm, draw the elbow back past the right rib cage, return it to the floor, step forwards, up and down, step back, and then left arm will do the same action. All right, so you can do that without weights, or you can do a knee plank with or without weights. So it's usually something that everyone can have a go at. All right, yay. The virtual yes. Okay, coming to the short end of your mat, shoulders up, back and down. Take a breath. 30 seconds. Good, off we go. Down, step, elbow, step, Remember to use the other arm this time. So if you notice your hips are twisting, as you go into that little row, step your feet a little bit wider. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Good. Release the weights, have a breather. So now we've got a one leg squat with a kickback. And I'd like to invite you to use one weight or two weights, but you'll be holding them together in your hands in front of your chest. No weights is fine, in which case you can just make a soft cupping shape with your hands. Alright? So the action of this one is weights or no weights. Sit back in your squat. Stay low in the squat. 15 seconds on the right, so you kick back and come just back and lightly onto the foot. So kick, kick. What you're trying to do is avoid leaning and coming right out. So keeping that awareness in the standing leg. Hips back the whole time. Navel engaged for you. All right, weights, no weights. Set yourself up. Sit back, 15 seconds, right leg. Here we go. So kick, 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 kick. So you're kicking back with your heel. 5 seconds on this side. Kick, kick, and switch. Now one side is going to feel much stronger than the other. So for me, this is much more of a challenge on the right leg supporting me. And coming up. Well done. Take a breather. Smile. Last one, we're going to do 4 burpees. So you can use the weights. We'll have a little bit of a jump should you choose to hang it in there. But we're still going to have the arms by the side. So I'll just show you. Just take care. I would suggest if you're using something other than hand weights, probably discard them at the moment unless you know they're not going to roll. So certainly not a tin here, okay? Good. So you'll be down, maybe jump back, jump forwards, maybe jump up, and then down. I'm going to land as lightly, cat-like in fact, with a land. So this is your last 30 seconds, so it is a short, sharp session today. Get ready, choose your options. Okay, off we go. So landing with slightly bent legs, just keep that lower back safe and navel to spine, particularly if you're jumping back. You can continue to step the whole time, should you choose to do so. 4, 3, 1 more, 2, 1. Well done. Pop your weights down. If you're using them, have a little walk, pad up and down your mat. Gives me a chance to catch my breath too. Brilliant, well done. So hands together at the heart centre. The breath will settle into the nose when it's ready. Arms out and up, breathe in. Diving forwards as you breathe out. Halfway up, huge inhale. Exhale. Make your way to downward dog. So go back to those little knee swings. Lift the heels. Swing the knees to the right. Don't think about the hips so much dropping this time. Just the knees to the right. Then the knees to the left. You might be aware of heat in the thighs, which is brilliant. Come to the centre. Release both knees to the mat. Whew. And bring your right foot forwards towards the inside of your right hand. And feel free to pad your left knee by perhaps rolling your mat over a couple of times or finding a cushion or a blanket. Settle into that hip space, have a little wiggle. Then find stillness as much as you can. As you take your right arm out to the side and up, breathing in. As you breathe out, bring it back down, hook it underneath the back of the right leg, and use the arm to help you squeeze and bring your chest a bit closer towards that thigh, bowing your head. Breathe in, relax. Exhale, squeeze. One more. Exhale, squeeze. Now if this feels okay, tuck your back toes and press the heel away. Otherwise, keep the knee down, it's fine. Keep actively using that right arm. Push that left heel away. Your knees up. Good, then release the knee, release the hand, untuck your back toes, unless you can like them there for balance, as you rock forwards and backwards. Just check where your breath is now. Well done. Step your right foot back, maybe stretch it out behind you. Give it a little bit of a wiggle. Pop the knee down, and let's bring the left foot forwards. Okay, again, just repad the knee if you need to, so just take a moment to do that so you can feel comfortable. Good, so we'll have a nice little twist. So let's have that nice kind of space finder movement. Just squirming a little bit into that left hip socket. So if you think of the hip sockets more on the front rather than the side, that might help you, because that's actually where they are. Good, and then take the left arm out to the side and up, breathing in. Now as you exhale, scoop the left hand underneath an arm underneath the back of the left thigh. Draw your chest down to your thigh and bow your head. And again, left arm out and up, breathe in. Exhale, scoop. Final one, breathe in. Exhale, scoop. Option to tuck the back toes and press the heel away, just to increase the release and the lengthening action on the front of that straight leg. Or the leg with the knee down is fine. Still get a nice bit of extra lengthening there. Good, pop the knee down. Relax your left hand. And then just rocking forwards and backwards, back toes tucked or untucked, your choice. Good, and when you're ready, step your left foot back, stretch it out behind you, pop the toes down, a little wiggle. And then from here, let's take the knees really wide, big toes together. Lift the sitting bone and the tailbone up. Sitting bones, I've got two, I hope you have as well. And keep that sort of tilt in your pelvis, but nipple to spine a little bit as you reach your chest forward. So just pull your hands again against the floor. So press down and pull, like trying to make your spine long as you sit back. Keep sitting back, 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 back. Once you're down, relax maybe your forearms, maybe your head to the floor. And as always, I like to sit up and chat when you're in child's pose. So stay there with your own breath for a few moments and notice again where your breath is. Now noticing again what your breath is, how your breath is. Not aiming to change or alter it in any way. It's just an observation and awareness of the body breathing. Well done. So take a moment to come up. So if possible, you're going to sit on your heels. If that doesn't work, you can sit on your bottom, or you can sit on the yoga brick or a chair. A chair is absolutely fine as well for this one. So you're going to take the arms out and then forwards in line with each other. And across the right arm on top of the left. Bring the backs of the hands towards each other as your fingers point up towards the ceiling. So for many people, that's it. If you're able to go a little deeper, then you kind of just swing the right hand around and forwards again, so it's palm to palm now. Shoulders up, back and down. Let's start to press the fingers up towards the sky and lower the chin towards the chest. And we'll just take a breath into the sensation. So wherever you're feeling this little posture, this shape, breathe into that sensation. So I'm not going to say where it could be, where it might be, I just want you to find it. And allow your breath to soften and release in that place. Just check your shoulders are nice and relaxed. And a nice cue really is to find out where your tongue is. So if it's rammed in the roof of your mouth, that's definitely a no-no for relaxation. So if you'd like to release it into the, I like to say behind the bottom set of teeth, that's usually where most people's tongue kind of sits quite comfortably. And then take the arms out and up, breathing in. And exhale out, forwards, other arm on top. So for me, that's my left arm on top. From there, just bend your elbows so the backs of the hands are facing each other. Check the shoulders are down. Do what you want to do with your hands. Some people like to actually hold the wrist rather than do palm to palm. And if none of these are doable, then you can do forearms together. Maybe elbows a little lower, all right, to start, so you're not just holding. It's quite challenging in that place. Good. Check where your tongue is before we go this time. And we're ready to start to press up towards the ceiling. So you're pressing your fingers up as if you're trying to touch the ceiling, but without letting go of that kind of twisted action. It's quite challenging to keep the shoulders down as you do that. So really work on trying to almost fix your shoulder blades onto your back, chin to chest. Find a sensation which might be in a different place on this side and breathe into that place. Well done. When you're ready, breathe in, arms out and exhale. Good. So if you're on the floor, bring your hands to the floor behind you, and if it's okay, you're going to press the hips up a little bit. We're just breathing into the chest. If you're on a chair, you can do the same thing, but just have your hands on either side of the chair and just lift the hips a little bit up. Okay, or hands to the back of the chair and just lift your chest and your chin up towards the sky. If you're on the floor, pop your hips onto your heels. Good. So chair or floor, just working on the back of the arm a little bit. I'll turn to face you this time. So taking your arms out and up, left arm up, right arm down, and interlinking the hands together behind your back if that's doable. If not, just grab your top or whatever you're wearing with one hand and the other hand. Trying to get these top elbow as much as you can towards the back of the head, but I'd like you not to sacrifice a nice upright spine just to get it there. So if your elbow's out and you're nice and upright, but if you move your elbow in, you start to curl down, then let's just leave the elbow slightly out. Start to press your head into your hands. Now from here, release that other arm, take it over your head, grab hold of the elbow and draw it a little bit more over. Sometimes you can hold on to the upper arm of the opposite hand and then take that arm out to the side. I have a really tight shoulder on the right side, so virtually no movement, but I can still feel a little bit more by doing this with my arms. Good. Relax that straight arm if it's up. Breathe in, take both arms. So from here, both arms out to the side. Well done. Exhaling down. Okay, other side. So here we go. Both arms out. Right arm up, left arm down. Find your back. So I'll just swivel. Excuse my back. And you may find you're here with a big gap. Absolutely fine. Or you can hold on to your top. Or you might be able to reach your fingers and interlink, hook your fingers around each other. So just remember that little advice about the top elbow, so as not to compromise the spine. And also, I'm sorry to keep throwing things at you, if you're desperately trying to reach your hands, your body, it's a bit of a sneaky thing, your mind, it's going to try and make the distance shorter by curling here. So it brings the gap into a small place. So we want to avoid this. So keeping the navel to the spine to prevent the lower back being too involved. Good. So the hands that's up, that stays there. The other arm out to the side and over the head to the outside of that raised elbow. An option to hold on to the forearm and then take that arm out to the side. So for me, there's much more mobility in the shoulder than on the other side. So you can you can sort of play with the hand position, so palm down and palm up. Both of those might feel quite different in your shoulder. Good, then just release, so if your arm's out, bring it back in. The hand that's behind you and your elbow up, take both arms out to the side now. And exhale your hands back onto your thighs. Good. Slide your hips off your heels if you're sitting on your heels. And we're coming back down onto the floor. So legs bent, let's roll down. Got there in the end, found the word. Good. If you're on a chair, if you're happy to come back down onto the floor, please do. Take your feet nice and wide. Arms kind of flop out to the side in lines with the shoulder-ish. And we're just going to windscreen wipers the knees from side to side. You can do this movement from a chair. You sort of have to come a little bit more to the edge, so make sure your chair is secure and it's not on anything slippy. Well done. Then coming back to the centre, heel toe your feet and your knees a little closer. Let's just hook the right ankle on top of the left thigh. So we're either going to just hang out here, or without using the hands, just going to allow the left knee to come in and make little circles with that left knee. So it's working on the gluteal muscles, which we've used quite strongly today in all that squatting and that lunging. So you can probably feel that and make circles the other way. If you're not happy doing that, you just keep your foot down and rest with your knee out to the side and your ankle crossed. Okay. Come back to the centre, pop the foot down if it's up, and release the leg from the thigh, so both feet are back on the mat. Okay, other side, hook, stay here, or release the knee, focus on the knee that's coming in towards you rather than the knee that's out to the side, and circle, make circles with that knee, and you'll notice straight away you can feel it in the other gluteal muscles. So the three, medius, minimus, maximus, I always say they sound like gladiators, and I guess they are. Good, change the direction of your circle. And come back to the centre, pop your foot down, good. Unhook your other foot, both feet on the floor, so either knees together, feet nice and wide, or extend your legs into a V shape. Your arms should be lovely, relaxed and heavy now. If they're not, just adjust the position till they feel as if they could be in that place forever. A little roll of the head from side to side, wherever you are. Come back to the centre, find your breath. Notice the stillness now that's more present. And perhaps the only movement you're aware of is a gentle expansion and contraction of your body as you inhale and as you exhale. And now perhaps you're aware of your body becoming a little heavier, a little wider, maybe like chocolate melting in the sun. Notice the stillness around you and within you now. And give yourself permission to surrender to that stillness and to let go. Begin to come back to the present moment by just making small movements with your fingers and toes. Draw the legs together along the length of the mat. Perhaps stretch them out if they were bent, or bring your knees and feet together. And sweep the arms up and overhead. Inhale. Audible sigh through the mouth as you let your breath go. Scoop your knees into your arms. A little rock from side to side. Side to side. Before perhaps rolling onto one side and using your hands to gently support you and bring you back to your comfortable seated position. So hands together at the heart center, just a softness now here rather than an obvious kind of connection and pressing. So I hope you enjoyed your yoga circuits with me today, and as always, thank you for your time. Namaste, and see you soon on the mat.